You are listening to the audio production of the Church Revitalization Checklist, a hopeful and practical guide for leading your congregation to a brighter tomorrow by Sam Rainer, published by Tyndale Momentum. This book is read by the author. Dedicated to the memory of Ambrose Gilbert Sapp, a local church pastor who toiled in obscurity among the rolling fields of Kentucky, shepherding God's people in poverty without any glory or recognition. He faithfully preached the gospel until he died. May God grant us more like him. Introduction. Leading your church into an era of renewed optimism. If God can save any person, he can save any church. The gospel embodies a movement, bringing people out of spiritual darkness and into eternal light. The gospel not only initiates a new life in us, it also sustains us throughout our earthly lives. Jesus saves each one of us in a moment of time, but he also supports us in every moment that follows. What Jesus does for individuals, he also does for the church, the assembly of saved individuals. The good news is both personal and corporate. If we believe any person is worth saving, we must also believe any church is worth saving. Some local churches will die, but no church should die. Every congregation of God's people is worth the effort to revitalize. Landon pastors a church in rural Iowa. When I asked him how God had called him to his congregation, he responded, "I was the only one who applied." He knew that pastoring a small church out in the cornfields would be difficult. His friends all told him not to go. But God had a different plan, and Landon followed in obedience. I was 27 years old, young and dumb, so I said I'll take it. Right from the start, he encountered turmoil and a lot of heartache. Between the time he was called and his first day on the job, about a dozen people left the church. Another dozen left after the first couple of Sundays. In a church of maybe 6 dozen total, losing a third of the congregation was a big blow. Forget the typical ministry honeymoon. That didn't happen. To Landon, it was obvious the church needed a cultural shift and a quick change of direction. Having grown up in the area, Landon grasped intuitively what he had to do. He went back to the basics with a twofold strategy: building relationships and teaching biblical truth. As he focused on preaching through entire books of the Bible and spent a lot of time in people's homes, this combination of truth and love started to turn the tide. But at the 6th
Sample complete. Ready to continue?